What's up, you guys? Welcome to my what I eat in a week video. I wanted to do a what I eat in a week versus what I eat in a day, just so I could share a little bit more with you guys. So to start out, I'm gonna have my oatmeal for breakfast, and something that I'm really putting a priority on is adding more protein into my diet. This is my first week of really focusing in on this, so maybe next week I'll try protein oats, but I'm just gonna stick with an awesome bowl of morning oats. I love to add peanut butter, fruit, chia seeds, and honey to my morning oats. It is one of my all-time favorite meals, helps keep me full and helps fuel me for my workout. Water is also so important. I am always drinking up water. I highly recommend getting a cute jar that you love to drink out of. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my what I eat in a day video. All things food. Yum. Got home from the gym. I'm now going to make a protein shake and then also have kind of a little meal snack and then probably have lunch in a couple of hours. I don't think I've ever made my protein shake on here. I use PE Science's vanilla protein. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but this is definitely the best vanilla protein I've ever had. So I'm gonna start by adding water into my little blender cup. I don't know about that, and then I'm gonna get some ice. Today we're doing 4 ice cubes, so drop that in there. I'm gonna use the other half of the banana that I used this morning for my oatmeal. Frozen bananas are great too, that way you also don't have to use ice, but got ice, banana. Now I'm gonna add my scoop of protein, and you get 24 grams of protein. And then I'm also gonna add peanut butter to this. If you're getting peanut butter, get natural peanut butter. The only ingredient in this is peanuts. That's exactly what peanut butter should be. Now I'm just gonna pop this on and we're gonna blend. I used to not drink a protein shake after every single workout, but I have been, and I actually really love it. I love knowing that I'm getting enough protein in. Blender hack, seriously, just add a little bit of soap and water in this. Give this a little blend. Now all I have to do is rinse this out and it's all clean. Okay, so I'm gonna sip on my protein shake while I make 2 eggs and 3 chicken sausage links. That's usually what I eat. I still have sausages from last week when I meal planned, so that's great that I bought enough to last me 2 weeks. We love that. I'm gonna show you the chicken sausages that I get, and I just got them from Costco. The ingredient list on these are absolutely fantastic, so I actually really am a big fan of these links. Eggs are really awesome because they're a high source of protein, but they're also really affordable, so you can have a bunch of eggs, and so eggs are a good go-to meal for after a workout for me. Dude, why is flipping the egg so freaking stressful? I get a spatula, you guys. I bet I can do this. I'm gonna just YOLO it. Are you ready? Is everybody ready? 3. That was a fail. I got my protein shake, my water, and my freaking snack. It's now the next day and I'm just making lunch. I didn't film the breakfast or post-workout snack because I had the same thing. I had my oatmeal this morning and I had eggs and chicken sausage with a protein shake. This is now my lunch and I'm having leftover orange chicken that I made before and Brussels sprouts. So I'm just cutting these up, seasoning them with salt and pepper. I'm gonna roast them at 400 for about 20 minutes. The orange chicken recipe is so easy. It's barbecue sauce, orange marmalade, and soy sauce. If I am being completely honest and transparent, the little crunchies off of the Brussels sprouts are the best. So good. Back in the day, I would just have like Brussels sprouts and rice or broccoli and rice as a lunch snack, but I'm making protein a priority, so it's really been helping to have my leftover chicken as part of my lunch. Let's go. Protein it is, sis, because carbs are easy to get in. Okay, I'm having dessert tonight. I'm probably gonna have lemon cupcakes, so let's get that protein. I go on Pinterest and I find a bunch of recipes and I screenshot them so that I have them in a photo album. This is just easier than loading the app, going through and remembering, okay, what do I want to eat? Because this way, I then have the ingredient list all on my phone and it's ready to go, so I can just pick which one I want. Now, last week, I made a lemon chicken with potatoes and onions. It was so good. I also have a couple of other options. Tomato basil chicken. I can make beef and broccoli. Ooh, I can do turkey meatballs. Swedish meatballs, like the IKEA knockoffs. So I think I might either make the meatballs or the lemon chicken. Maybe I'll ask Darian and see what he's feeling, and that'll be the tiebreaker. Also, I'm still drinking water because we drink water all day, every day, baby. Just throwing together all of the ingredients for the Swedish meatballs and adding them into the crock pot with the gravy, which will thicken as it cooks. Then I'm gonna be making some mashed potatoes, snacking on some apple chips, and then I'm gonna wash and steam these green beans. I ended up adding green onion, salt, and pepper to the mashed potatoes, and then I'm just plating the turkey meatballs with the gravy and green beans. Honestly, this was pretty good. I still feel like IKEA's meatballs are a little bit better, but this was really fun and something that I don't usually eat, so it was fun to make. And here are my leftovers of the meatballs and potatoes. So now I have lunch for the next day that I can eat, and I already know I'm getting a good amount of protein in. Sunday is my unplug, relax, regroup, spend time with family. I just like to indulge on these days, so I started with lemon blueberry pancakes, and then I'm having a grilled cheese for lunch. Truly love this combo. It's something, I don't know, the sourdough bread with the cheese and the soup, it's such a good combo. It's just so hearty. Sunday is also the day that I bake, so I go to my recipe book and pick something out that sounds good to Darian and I. This week it is going to be white chocolate brownies. These did not last long at all. I couldn't even take a video of it before we took pieces out. They were that good, so highly recommend this recipe. What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. Vinny and I are about to go to the splash pad, but I need to put dinner in the crock pot first, so let's make some dinner together. First of all, I've had this crock pot since college. It's like the really cheap one from Walmart, but it's actually awesome and works like a charm. So we're making lemon and thyme chicken with onions and potatoes. This is actually one of my all-time favorite recipes. It's so good. So I'm excited to make it together, so let's go. Also, the swimsuit's from Toluca, but doesn't it also just look like a cute top? Double whammy, I'm here for it. I've got a cutting board, a knife, and a red onion. Let's get to work. So I just thinly slice them and then layer them in on the bottom. This is what it looks like. The onions are some of the best parts, so don't skimp. Now it's time for the chicken. I like to trim off any of the extra fat around the edges, so there's always a little bit of extra fat, like here. I like to trim that off. Here's the chicken in the crock pot. It's just directly on top of the onions. I'm gonna salt and pepper them now. Also gonna add a little bit of the garlic salt. I'm now just gonna wash these little mini potatoes, cut them in half, and I just wash them in a little colander. That's what makes it easiest. Since there are 4 chicken breasts in this, I definitely wanted to make sure there were enough potatoes. So just place them right over the chicken, and then we're gonna make the sauce for the top. Okay, for the like little dressing sauce, it's olive oil, honey, lemon, thyme, and then garlic. So I feel like most of these things are things that we usually have. Like if you don't have thyme, you can use another herb or just use like dry seasoning. But I feel like this is like common ingredients that you have, so you can just whip this up anytime. That's why I love it. So it's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Honey doesn't stick as much if you pour the oil in first and then do the honey. That's not for you, Vinny. Adding in some garlic. Now I'm gonna zest 1 lemon. And then the juice of that same lemon that you just zested. If you like things more lemony, add more lemon, but let's go. Yeah, that's a fan. You want me to turn it on? Wow! Run away. I'm going to add some thyme into this. I also added salt and pepper into here, so let's drizzle it over. I like to add a few extra sprigs just to make it even more flavorful. I like to add a little bit of chicken broth just for it to cook in and to soak in all those extra flavors that have been in the bowl, just to get everything out. Here it is. Now I'm gonna cover it and let it cook. Look, if you're trying to be wifey material, try this recipe out. You'll be a pro. All right, you guys, we're back home for the splash pad. It was actually closed, which was a bummer. Like, we got all ready and we went there and it was closed, but we played with bubbles and we went all over the playground anyways, so it was still fun. The chicken and potatoes are pretty much ready. I just put them on low, but now I'm gonna cut up the veggies and just pop them in the oven real quick. Oven roasted veggies. Do not sleep on oven roasted veggies, especially zucchini. So I'm gonna make zucchini, some squash, Brussels sprouts in the oven. So freaking good.
I hear you breathe, but I can't see if you're right here next to me. Something's wrong, wasn't it fun? Is it now we're done? You get dressed, I'm like a mess, and you tell me.
Okay, so I cut all the veggies and they're in this little bowl. Now I'm gonna season them and then put them on this baking sheet that has tin foil and pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes probably. So I just added some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, salt, rosemary, and thyme, and now I'm gonna pour them on the baking sheet.
Because you're acting like a volcano, tending to be my savior. Nothing you do can save us, save us. Because you're acting like a volcano and make me feel outrageous.
What's up, you guys? I just got home from the gym. I worked push, so chest, triceps, and shoulders, and now it's time to eat a post-meal snack. So I'm gonna make a protein shake, and then I have some leftover cooked rice. I just like to make rice in big batches. I feel like I talk about this all the time. If I'm gonna cook rice once, I'm gonna cook rice to last me a couple of days. So I just keep this in the fridge. So I'm gonna heat some of this rice up. I've got some broccoli on the stove. And I'm gonna make some tuna. Get some seasonings up in there and eat that for protein as well as a protein shake. So excited, good. So this is tuna, mayo, salt, pepper, sesame seeds, and green onion. It's actually so good. We wanted to make spicy tuna, but I didn't have any sriracha, so boo. This is so good.